Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is a video that I'm recording for Prudence and just to clearly express the sentiment that I am not depressed. I am not suicidal. I have zero plans to end my own life. And I have committed no crimes. I am saying this because I have been threatened in a very real way by Sheriff Mike Chitwood from Volusia County. He has an ongoing email thread to me threatening extradition, threatening arrest for protected speech. And you can check out the phone call that I had with him. He threatened my life. I mean, he's a gangster. That's a mobster. You know, the people that we're supposed to respect as authorities are no better than organized crime. In fact, they're worse than organized crime. At least with organized crime, you can accomplish something, right? Think about Al Capone with his soup kitchens. What has Mike Chitwood done but smoke all of the meth that he's taken from residents there? That's all that I can see he's done, because the man that spoke to me today is not an authority. That's not somebody who protects and serves the people that elected him. The man I spoke to today is a drug-addled criminal, and there's no two ways about that. Anyone who is so unhinged as to return a call and then call back when that call's rejected just to threaten a stranger, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And then to continue on in an email thread, which I've also posted, threatening extradition as he has admitted to doing to somebody from California. I have on record the Volusia County Sheriff admitting that he has prosecuted people for their freedom of speech, and not only prosecuted people, extradited them from California. That's fucking insane. But this is the land of the free, right? I don't know if it's the home of the brave, but I'm not a fucking coward. I'm not a coward, and I'm going to keep shining light on tyranny as well as I can. Because, you know what? A little story about me. My life was ruined by corrupt police in Illinois when I was a teenager. Just absolutely ruined. And what's funny about it is it was ruined over stuff that's no longer a crime. You know, cannabis. And since then, it lit a fire in my heart that has been unquenchable. And I don't want problems in my life, but it's kind of like cancer, right? Sure, when you first get cancer, it might not hurt all that bad. You might be able to live a normal life, but the longer you go with that tumor growing and festering within you, the more damage it's going to do, and then the harder it's going to be on the other side to cure it. And that's where we are now. The law enforcement in this country is cancerous. The words that he spoke today are not the words of an intellectually and psychologically stable human being. They are the words of somebody who has a lukewarm IQ and an ego that is front-facing. If somebody said what I said to him to me, I'd laugh about it, go on with my day, and share it with a friend like, oh, look at this fucking idiot. He doesn't even know me. But this guy couldn't let it go. He still can't let it go. He has told me to get in my car and drive to him, and we'll see how fucking tough I am then. Man, that's a fucking threat. That's a threat. He has told me, like I said, that he'll extradite me. And my defense against this is the truth. I have a potty mouth, and I'm sorry if people are hearing my potty mouth, but the fact remains, I haven't said anything to him that is illegal, threatening, or anything other than constitutionally protected. Whereas he, somebody who should be held to a far higher standard than me, has resorted to petty threats, insults, calling me a fucking pussy. You know, here's a question. If I was a sheriff and I didn't like somebody and I purposely tried to trigger them to get them to drive to me and start a fight, would that be called entrapment? Because what it would be doing is using my position of authority to instigate and cause an action that a person wouldn't normally have done absent that interaction. Man, I said that horribly. I'm sorry. If you're smarter than me, you'll understand what I said. But I think that's what it is. It's entrapment. And of course, I'm not going to get in my car and drive anywhere near him. I'm not going to do anything other than record my interactions with the government, as is my First Amendment right. And then here's the sick, sweet irony of the whole thing. He tried to make a big deal out of recording a call. Listen to it. When I said this call is being recorded, you know, he said that's a problem because Florida is technically a two-party consent law. And so he tried to use the wiretapping code or law against me without realizing that his very phone system announces that the call is being recorded for quality purposes. So at that point, I mean, it's not one-party consent. There's a full understanding that the entire call is being recorded, and it just so happens that it's been recorded by both parties now, and that's the way it should be. And so I have requested all of his communications from his perspective, or from his database, and I've posted all of the pertinent interactions I've had. And I've reached out to the local news station and forwarded them the call from him. Sorry, I'm not that eloquently spoken right now because this is disturbing. It's disturbing that a public official would have such a low threshold for rage that he is wasting time on what he calls a fucking piece of shit pussy. If that's true, Chitwood, why are you bothering with me? Why are you wasting taxpayer time calling me and dealing with this? You've been at it all day long, and I'll tell you why. Here's a little story about me. Not a story, but a bit of a confession. In a past life, or previous decades, I dabbled in substances. I have since cleaned up my act and realized that my life is worth far more than the haze that drugs would give me. But the man I spoke to today was clearly on drugs. Like, clearly. That's a meth addict. What do we do, guys? What do? We got to stop voting for these demons. That's what we got to do. We got to stop giving our consent to them. I wouldn't give this guy consent to lick my toilet clean, because I don't want that on my toilet. Here he is, the highest law enforcement position in his county. And he's so unoriginal and unimaginative and unhinged and weak. He's weak. That's what it really is. He's so weak that he threatened me. He used his position of perceived authority and his office to threaten me using official channels. I love my children, and they need me in their lives. So I'm going to cool it on my end as far as any more communication directly with the sheriff, because I really do think that he would kill me if he had the opportunity. I don't have a single doubt in my mind that he would. I think that he would utilize his gang of thugs to fabricate something so that it was justified. This is a really big deal. And it might not seem like it because it's just some piece of shit YouTuber talking to him. But man, this is a big deal. There are more people than just me who have to deal with him. And he has zero respect for the public. He has zero respect for the Constitution. And he has zero respect for the office that he's supposed to hold and the oath that he took. That is not an honorable man. And I think his words speak for themselves. I would really love to speak to a civil rights attorney about this, because I feel my life is in danger. I feel my freedom is being risked. I don't have a lot of money. So if you know anybody who sees this is or knows of a constitutional rights type of attorney, please send them my way. I've already reached out to the news. This is shameful.